Good morning, Ms. Paula Dean, and all my friends who love Philadelphia cream cheese as much as I do. Well, I am busy buttering up some muffin pans because I'm getting ready to show you this wonderful dessert recipe I have for you. You know, originally I almost did not do a recipe this week because I really didn't think I had something that was strong enough and over the top to share with you. That's when it happened, because it is then I took my own advice. Now, I teach art classes, and what I always run across is my students are always so afraid of making mistakes or having problems. And I say to them, you know what? Don't be afraid. Bring on those problems, bring on those mistakes, because you know what? That is when real creativity comes about. That is when good things happen. So that's exactly what I did. I just tried to think outside the box a bit. And I think about at that time, Paula Dean's little cooking angels descended from the heavens and sat on my shoulders and started whispering in my ear because I got a knock on the door. Now, it was my friend Mary, and my friend Mary is this little petite lady, and of course I'm quite tall, but we have so much more in common than just our height. We love to cook. You know, about every week or two, me and my girlfriends, we try to get together as much as we can, and we just like to sit around and we like to eat. We love to eat. We share some wine and we either cook that meal together or we make jewelry. We do something special. The idea is just to enjoy each other, enjoy life, because you know, that's really how it should be. So this evening, Mary brought over something very unique and something very special. It was actually the answer that I was looking for all along. It was her mother's famous meringue pie crust. Now, I don't really like meringue. It's not high on my list. But I'm going to tell you, I knew that if Mary made it, it was going to be something wonderful. So I gave it a try. It was absolutely amazing. It is nothing that I thought it was going to be like. And what was more amazing is when she told me the ingredients, I just could not believe it. So I thought that would be a wonderful pair, good matchup for my famous cream filling that I love to make, that I've been making for years. So to me, these were two classics that were meant to be together. So that's exactly what I did in this recipe. So you're probably wondering what's so mysterious about that crust? Well, today, girls, this is your lucky day because I'm going to show you how to make this recipe. To make this meringue crust, we're going to need 6 egg whites. So I'm going to go ahead and separate my eggs, putting the whites into my mixing bowl that's going to fit my stand mixer. I'm going to go ahead and reserve all these egg yolks. You know, I'll probably use them for scrambled eggs in the morning for the kids. I think they'll like that. Now, when you're separating these eggs, make sure that you don't get any of the yolk into the egg white, because that won't let it go ahead and get nice and stiff like we want it to be. To this egg white mixture, we want to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Then I'm going to put it in my stand mixer and whip it up good until these egg whites are nice and stiff. Okay, my egg whites are nice and stiff, and so now it's time to add some sugar. To the egg whites, we want to slowly add 2 cups of granulated sugar right into the egg whites at a low speed. Okay, now to add the very unusual ingredient to this. It's going to be 20 saltine crackers. No, I have not lost it. I'm telling you, this is an amazing crust. You know what happens is that the meringue and the sugar make a little crispy coating, and then the crackers combine with the egg, the sugar, all the butter we used, and make almost like a cookie, like a nice gourmet chewy cookie crust. It's just really good. It's just so different. So once I get this all crushed up, and you really need to do a good job crushing up these crackers, get it nice and fine, then I'm going to add them right into my mixing bowl with this meringue, and along with that I'm also going to add 1 cup of chopped pecans. Now we're going to make our yummy cream filling. So into my mixer I have added 8 ounces of my Philadelphia cream cheese. Next I would like to add a 1/2 cup of sour cream. I'm also going to add a package of vanilla instant pudding into this mixture, along with a cup and a half of my half and half and a half a teaspoon of almond extract. So now I'm going to go ahead and add some fruit to this cream. You know, I'm going to use peaches today because who doesn't like peaches and cream? I mean, it's a classic combination. But really, I'm going to add another fruit, which is raspberries. And when I was younger, I used to go through all my mom's cookbooks and try to find the most decadent, fancy-looking dessert because I wanted to make it all. And one of my favorites was peach melba. Now, maybe it was just the name that sounded so fancy, I don't know. But that is the classic combination of using peaches and raspberries together. And I think it really works well in this recipe. Now, if you are fortunate to find fresh peaches, by all means use them. I was kind of disappointed when I went to my grocery store that I couldn't find any peaches that looked real great right now. So I'm going to use the canned peaches. I just went ahead and drained them. And I'm dicing these up nice and fine. Then I'm going to go ahead and put them in the blender and give it a little whirl to kind of break those peaches up a little bit. And then we're going to go on to make the rest of our little tarts because my shells are getting ready to come out of the oven and they smell delicious. My meringue mixture has been completed, so I have been busy filling up these very well greased with butter cupcake pan, and I'm kind of working my meringue up the sides of each little cupcake well. The idea is that we want to make like a little basket or like a little cloud to hold all that wonderful Philadelphia cream cheese filling that we're going to put in next. After I finish doing this, I'm going to pop these into a 300-degree oven for 30 minutes and we'll be ready to go from there. So now it's time to assemble these pretty little desserts. You know, these little pie shells will come out of this pan quite easy because we used all that butter. And when they come out, you just kind of see how nice and golden brown and buttery they are. Oh, these just hold up to the pie cream filling so well. So I'm just going to place this down on my serving plate. And in the center, I'm going to use some of this wonderful peachy creamy sauce that we created earlier. And then on top of that, I'm going to place some red fresh raspberries. You know, if you have these in the garden, again, boy, this would be such a treat to put it on something like this. I remember getting these during the summer. You know, this would be a great recipe to serve during the warm months of the year, maybe even on the 4th of July or Memorial Day, because you could substitute, instead of putting the red berry in the middle, maybe a blueberry, and that would kind of give you a patriotic look to your little dessert here. You know, I'm quite happy today because I found out that my son gets to come home for summer, and I'm so excited because this year I became an Army mom, and he has been overseas. You know, when he got out of boot camp, we had a big celebration, and when he came home, we lined the streets with 200 American flags, and all the kids in the neighborhood made a big banner to welcome him home. And it was quite a homecoming celebration. You know, it's really something when your 19-year-old becomes one of your biggest heroes. So when he comes home this summer, I think I'm going to make him this dish. I'm going to even let him lick the bowl. Okay, now that this scrumptious, totally delicious, very unique treat is completed, I would like to offer this up as a special thank you to all of you that have participated in this contest. Thank you, Philadelphia Cream Cheese and Kraft Corporation, for all the love and support that you've shown me throughout this contest. I'd also like to thank all those technical people because they sure showed a lot of kindness and so much patience throughout this whole ordeal. And a special thanks is going to go out to Miss Paula Dean. You have been a wonderful, gracious hostess right from the get-go. And I couldn't think of anybody better to be on this wonderful cooking journey with me. Thank you so much. So with that, I would like to say, here's to Philadelphia Cream Cheese. Thank you so much.